How can we support employees who are caregivers without derailing business priorities or creating a one-size-fits-all solution? I'm Dr. Anna Thomas. I'm a physician, caregiver advocate, and founder of LifeCare LeadHership. This podcast is for professionals who are doing the impossible. They're balancing work, life, and care. Whether you're a caregiver yourself or a leader supporting a team that includes caregivers, this space is for you. Each week, we unpack real strategies, leadership insights, and mindset shifts to help you thrive, not just survive, in the age of caregiving. Let's get into it. Welcome to episode 3, How to Create a Workplace That Truly Supports Caregivers. If you're in a leadership role, HR, management, or executive leadership, you're probably noticing a shift in your workforce. More employees are requesting flexibility. More are taking intermittent leave. Some are disengaging quietly. Others are quitting unexpectedly. And when you dig a little bit deeper, you might hear something like this. My mom just got out of the hospital. My partner was diagnosed with cancer. I'm helping my dad with dementia. I'm caring for my child with special needs. This is happening everywhere and often silently. Which brings us to today's question. How can we support employees who are caregivers without derailing business priorities or creating a one-size-fits-all solution? Because here's what's real. We are living in the age of caregiving. 1 in 5 working adults are already balancing some form of unpaid care along with their professional responsibilities. Most don't talk about it. Many don't even call themselves caregivers. They just quietly carry the load until the weight becomes too much. And when leaders miss that, productivity suffers, retention becomes an issue, cultures start to crack under pressure. So, what can you do? What's the proactive, strategic response? Let me introduce you to the CARE framework. This is a 4-part leadership model that I use to help organizations strengthen caregiver support, retention, and performance. So let's break it down. C is for culture. The first thing I ask leaders is this: do people in your organization, do they feel safe talking about family caregiving? If caregiving is only whispered behind closed doors, or only addressed when someone hits their breaking point, then your culture has a gap. See, culture is what people experience daily. It's how safe they feel to speak up. You can shape culture by adding caregiving questions to wellness surveys, encouraging leadership to share their own stories, including caregiving in employee resource group efforts. This doesn't cost a lot, but it can make an enormous difference that will benefit all of your team, because employees who feel seen stay longer and perform better. A is for awareness. You can't support what you don't see or know. Awareness means giving employees the language to self-identify as caregivers and training managers to recognize the signs. For example, a new hire who is also managing dialysis appointments for their dad. A top performer who is suddenly late to meetings, but they didn't say why. A mid-career leader burning out after months of navigating their partner's cancer care. If these situations don't get recognized, they can't be supported. Awareness tools might include having a caregiver snapshot added to employee check-ins, an anonymous survey, adding the word caregiving to your benefits and communications. Small shifts in awareness lead to big shifts in impact. R is for resources. Many organizations already offer helpful support, EAPs, flexible work, leave policies. The issue isn't always what's available. The issue is how easy is it to find these resources and how clearly is it positioned for caregivers. Ask yourselves, are your policies inclusive of elder care, long-term disability, or chronic illness? Is there one centralized place where caregivers can go to find answers? Have you trained your managers on how to direct someone to these resources with compassion and clarity? One solution I recommend to every company: create a caregiver resource hub. Even if it's a simple internal web page, it could include internal policies, external support tools, contact points for HR, and a message that says, "We see you. You're not alone." E is for empowerment. And here's the final and most transformational part of the framework. Support is important, but empowerment is what builds trust, longevity, and leadership growth. Empowerment means giving your caregiving employees the tools and systems that help them lead both at home and at work without crumbling under the weight of responsibility. This could look like hosting a From Caregiver to Care Leader workshop, offering peer to peer mentorship or support groups, bringing in coaching or speaking sessions that focus on leadership through care. Simply reinforcing the idea that you don't have to hide this part of your life to lead here. When caregivers feel empowered, they don't just stay employed, they grow, they innovate, they bring resilience, empathy, and vision into your organization. And that's not a liability, that's a leadership pipeline. So if you're wondering where to begin, here's what I recommend. I have the Organizational Caregiver Culture Assessment tool, the OCA tool. This tool gives you a clear snapshot of how caregiving is currently showing up in your workplace, from both your employees and your leaders, your managers, and where your biggest gaps are. Book a session like Why Leaders Must Care. It's a strategic, practical workshop that helps leadership teams apply this exact framework across departments. And if you're a caregiver yourself, grab my book, Balancing Care While Working. It's full of tools and insights for leading both at home and in the workplace without losing yourself in the process. You can find all of that at lifecareleadership.com or in the links below. Here's the bottom line. Caregiving, you don't need to fix it for your employees. You just need to stop pretending that it's not part of the picture. When you create a culture that cares, culture, awareness, resources, and empowerment, you give your people permission to lead their full lives, not just their job titles. And that's what real leadership looks like. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, share this with your leadership team, and join me next week for Feeling Invisible as a Caregiver. Here's how do I reclaim your identity. You've got this, and I've got you.